Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. This actually should be a little bigger. There we go. Here we go. I don't know what's up with that little thing of hair there. Anyway, it gets humid out there. Anyway, in the house, baby. Shout out to everybody here. Let's keep it moving. Blasting to the upside. Let's get the lemon into the water. Let's stay motivated every single day. We hit some gains last night, which get me really, really excited. SafePal keeps holding it down. DYDX look like it may be getting a big move coming up. We're going to take a look at these things. We're going to look at Bitcoin. I called the short this morning. It so far is playing out not amazingly well. Pretty sideways action on a Thursday, low volume. We're going to break all these things down for you right now on the Crypto Lifer Show. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. Let's get it going. Thank you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's go, baby, with the Crypto Lifer Show. It tastes so dang good, baby. Wow. Especially when you work out and your body really wants that water. Nothing better. Sorry about that. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's break it down. First thing we're going to look at is BOOKMAP, just to see where the liquidity is for BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP is linked in the description below. Heat map order book showing us where the biggest orders are for Bitcoin, all the way from $70,000 to $500. No, I'm just joking around. But when we take a look here, we can see where we're likely going to go. Right now, BOOKMAP is giving us not a lot of data. Some days we wake up, huge order books up here, and we go up. Now, there's more blocks to the downside than to the upside, but it's pretty scant. It's pretty even, Steven. Right now, you have to say, hey, kind of flat, right? No real edge right now for BOOKMAP. The only edge we see is a little more to the downside, but this is dark, which tells me 26,200 is the most likely area of some type of area of where we would get some liquidity. Let's break down Bitcoin. Last night, I talked about shorting this rising wedge, but as I went to bed, I found this little flag, and I said, I feel like we're going to get a breakout, fake out, like it's going to fake out and come back down, and that's exactly what happened when I woke up this morning. So the short was like this, but I did say don't open the short until we see if we can get this fake out. So you should have waited for the breakout, caught the short on the wick of resistance. But again, that's expert. You know, you have to know what you're doing. That's not something a beginner does. That's something you have to be around the charts for a long time to understand, right? That's not going to happen like that overnight. Now, moving forward, music's a little loud for me. Let me bring the music down for me and up for you. There we go. All right, so breaking it. So then when I woke up this morning, I said, well, I still see the 4-hour pointing to the downside. And to me, the 4-hour is likely going to break us down, right? You can see the Stokes were pointing down. We had a bearish momentum to the downside. And, you know, I called short somewhere at about, 783 area. And we would drop all the way down to 694. Actually, you know, on a wick all the way to 619. So that short would play out. If you were trading leverage, you'd be in the money. Could have dragged this to stop, you know, basically to break even. And you're actually still in the money right now on the short. All right. So I've just given you an example. Have you been in the trading group and listened to the update that I put out? You would have been privy to this information. You'd be up in the short. You know what I mean? Slightly lower would be great. Shout out to everybody here. Put the lemon in the water. God bless you all. Shout out to Kulin Ivata. Shout out to Crypto Billy, Lakochi Coker, Love Learning, Point Dexter, Crunk, Darth Dude, Crypto Bellico, MV Dizaldia, Point Dexter, Chad Smith, the Biomex Tex, my man. Jesse Namusel in the house, my man. God bless you, Jesse. Seize the Day in the house. Darth Dude in the house. Age Van Day, my man. MVP. And everybody here. Dan the Man, Santiago Tellier. And Barris Bayar 35. My peoples. You are all my peoples. I look out for you all. Let's hit it like we do every single day. God bless you all for being here on the live. 326 people on the live stream. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all. 100 likes. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. So the 4-hour says that we have more downside likely to the bottom of the channel. So if you bring this up, you're likely to, this is what you do. You channel trade. Bang, 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 bang. You go through the range. The top of the range to the bottom of the range. We hit the top of the range, resistance. Likelihood we would drag back down to the bottom of the range. So I'm just keeping it real cool. The 1-hour, however, suggests that it could get a break back to the upside, saying it's got a low, a high, a higher low putting in, and it wants to actually get a move here. So there's a chance we're making some type of a symmetrical triangle here, and the 1-hour does give us a bounce back to the top of the channel. you're very oversold. However, you got to get above this resistance before anything. Previous support, bounce, right? And now that's going to be a resistance point. That's 25,700. So locally, when I say locally, I mean like a smaller time frame. When I'm talking about, it's either macro, micro, or local. When I'm talking about the local time frame, I am talking about basically like the 5-minute or the 7-minute or what we're seeing very recent. So the local resistance here is 25,710. That's the key area that we're going to be looking for, okay? Now, the 1 hour, if you can get the 1 hour to get back above this 21 SMA, there's a chance you could pump up to the 200 and do that old 200 trick, all right? You do have a low, you have a high, you technically have a higher low right there. See low, high, higher low. Can you put in a higher high in the trend? And that's kind of what we're watching for here for Bitcoin. Falling wedges do break up 68% of the time. The wedge is getting tighter and tighter in the zone. I'm going to show you some other things that are key that nobody's really talking about. And we talk about it here on the channel, but nobody is talking about this. And this is why I said no one's talking about this. We must see it. Actually, I'm not going to show it right now. Episode 990, 10 days till episode 1000. What are we going to do to episode 1000? I mean, 1,000 episodes. I mean, and that doesn't mean 1,000 days because there's a few monthly candle closes in there. All right, so it's like, it might be like 900 and some odd days. But we could count it out to, let me do the math. I know I started streaming, the first day I started streaming, we'll say February of 2021. I think I started late in January. We'll say, I know once February started, I never stopped. Pretty, you know, I'd have to verify all this for sure, but I know it's either February 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, somewhere in that area where I began live streaming forever. You know what I mean? Forever. Like never ending. So February to February is 365, right? 2021 to 2022. And then February to February is another 365. So there you're sitting at, math real quick, right? 730, right? Because the 15 on either end. So 730 days. And then now we have at least what? January, February, and then February, March, April, May, June, July, and August is another 150 plus the 730, right? It's really only 890 shows, right? So it's not really 1,000 shows, but I'm trying to think because there's episodes that get put inside. Like we have the monthly candle close. There's days where I've done 2 shows, but I don't put the episode number on the morning updates. And you know, I might have started adding the episodes before I started doing the show every day too. So that's why. So I may have been going live every day for 800 and some odd days. If I do the math, is that right? No, let's do the math. Yeah, 890 days it's about, we'll say. So 890 days straight. And, which is still insane. Over 2.5 years without one day off. Like not one day did I could have, God forbid, could have hurt my, sprained my ankle, ended up in the hospital or something could have happened to me. Thank God, even when my wife had a kid, she told me I could stream from it was just nuts. It's nuts. So since my daughter was born, never taken a day off, and she's 2.5 years old. She was born on March 1st. So it's pretty crazy. Bencoin getting a nice pump yesterday. He came out there on Twitter, gave it a bit of a pump. People kind of, he said, I'm in there. I'm not giving up. And I think that gave Ben some movement. We were looking at, could it get above this resistance? And then boom, Ben got a little bit more of a pump to the upside. When I looked at it, it was just like this last night. And I put it out to the group, or I was looking at it. I said, this looks interesting. And it did go up 20% for Bencoin, banging on it to the upside. SafePal is something we went over, all right, on the weekly screen share. Tonight is the weekly screen share, everybody. We went over this idea right here that it was, retesting. And SafePal still holding a gain from the weekly screen share last week of 23% gains. Actually, it's about a little lower now, about 18.7. I'm looking for it to go sideways and then possibly catch another move to the upside for SafePal. So a beautiful pump for SafePal. GFAL, the coin we keep talking about that I love, went parabolic out of the rising wedge. I said that. So the rising wedge may break up parabolically. Measured move was just the base of the rising wedge right there. But this thing decided to have other plans and get absolutely skyrocket. However, let's take a look at the bigger picture for GFAL. So we could say, it's a technically, we can make it tighter here. It's a technical breakout, like a technical knockout. It's a technical breakout through that strong resistance. If it comes down and retests this and holds that level, that's going to be an area that I would load up on. We started getting into here and here. We were up huge on this coin. I'm absolutely excited. My position is getting larger and larger. So now I believe it's like $2,500, and the market cap is tiny. I brought this up in June. Look, there's the 777s on Ben. That's a message. You know my 777s, and we happen to go to Ben Coin and 777s. Ben, you're blessed, man. That means something blessed is happening, man. That's insane. That's a message for me. You could say whatever you want. To me, and look, it changed right there. You guys know about me and those 777s. We go to Ben Coin, is on 777s. And one thing I do want to say is, I love Ben, and I also met a lot of great people at the Hit Network. I just want to say that. Like AJ, great guy. Like, what a good kid. You know? Well, good kid. I mean, good dude. You know, BJ, the guy that runs the board in the back, great dude. Opened up about how his bat had passed. I was sitting there in a club like this, kind of looking around. It was an outdoor club with a pool in Miami, and he went up to me and he was like, hey, man, how you been? And I was like, I'm all right. He talked about his dad and told me a lot about his dad. And, one of my reps, my MEXC rep, lost his mom when he was like 18 or 19, and we spent like an hour together. So like all the people that I do business with, they really were there for me, man. And like while everyone was partying and drinking, I'm sitting there just looking up at the stars in Miami and talking about how I'm going to get over the death of my father, and people telling me like, you're going to be okay. Like you're going to make it through this. And I was just in a state of shock, right? It had been 2 weeks. So I made a deep connection with people at the Hit Network too, man. And I know Ben has people that he loves there, and there's people that I love over there. And so I just pray every day that somehow, some way, just the best, greatest thing happens out of it all. You know what I mean? And for whatever God wanted it to happen, So I don't know why I maybe bring it up, but I just, last night with the spaces and everything, and shout out to Ben, man, for, being real with me too. I appreciate that. Top 10 gainers in the last 24 hours. GFAL, baby. We've been all over it. Perp and ice making gains. But I like this coin. Now a $17 million mark. Now it goes to $170 million. That's a 10x. That'll turn my $2,000 into $20,000. This thing can 100x. 1.6 billion. This hits $1 billion market cap. We could do it, baby. And why I keep talking about this is it's founded by the guy who created EA Sports, man. You know what I mean? So Trip Hawkins, dude, like former CEO and founder of Electronical Arts and Digital Chocolate. Like the dude has been known to just make it amazing strides in the digital, basically, in the gaming industry. And this is going to be a gaming coin on the blockchain. So he realizes he needs to be on the blockchain, but he comes from gaming. See, all the other guys were blockchain guys that try to incorporate a game. They weren't that good at it. He's on a different level. All right. So I'm still short for Bitcoin. You know what I mean? The 4-hour doesn't look good to me unless we can get back above this level at 25,700. The 1 hour may pump, but I really wouldn't want to long the 1 hour until we get above this and retest 20,007 personally. And that would happen on a smaller time frame like the 7. Is there a scalp for us? Some fun, is there a fun scalp? Something going on here that may interest our hearts and minds, the hearts and minds of men and women. Shout out to all the lifers and lifettes out here. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. It's like a broadening falling wedge too. You see that? I mean, look at that shoulder, head, and almost a right shoulder. That's almost a head and shoulder pattern. Resistance. I want to see this 1 hour come up and not get, if the 1 minute it can even get resistance. And look, you're about to get a death cross there on the 1 minute. Very bearish to me. I got bearish vibes, baby. 7 minute about to get overbought. 15 minute headed to the overbought region without kind of making any headway. I see more downside, everyone, personally, but I could be wrong. Almost I look at this like an M pattern too. The M doesn't have to be, but that's kind of M-y, right? So unless we get back above 25.7, I really see no reason to even begin to think to long. And if we get above 25.7, I want to see a pump, and then I want to see a retest. Point of control, too, here on that 15-minute tight action right there at 25.750. So key levels have been lost. I'm expecting Bitcoin to drop down to the bottom of this channel at 25,500, and we will go from there. But again, who knows? I'm not always correct. I'm correct most of the time, right? I've been right most of the time, but, I'm not always right, so you never know. I wish I was 100%, and every single time I called Bitcoin, it would go exactly there. It seems as such, but it's not the case. You know what I mean? So let's see. But the short is still open and still in the money. And my target's down here at 25,550. And that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. I really have nothing else to say about Bitcoin. We don't have to spend hours and hours on Bitcoin. Could Bencoin get a move here? I mean, 15-minute in a flag, Ben coming back strong, community really, responding to, what he said, having still the backing of a lot of friends and family. Altcoin Daily's got his back, one of the biggest channels in the game. So, as long as he's truthful, which I am 100%, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying this is the path for any person. And I won't say him, then I'll say a person. But as long as a person is truthful in their recovery, then people will accept that recovery. You know what I mean? So God bless him, and may he live a blessed life, and for his kids, for his wife, and for everybody. Okay. Is GFAL going to continue to the upside? Would you jump in? Do you want to get into the hype? I mean, you got a very strong bearish div here on the 15. Tells me that you're probably going to make this retest. What we want to see is the retest of the support zone. We'll shrink that down later on for my trading group. I'll clean it up. But we want to see a retest of this area. And that could be a beautiful load up area. But I do see a pullback here for GFAL after that beautiful kind of massive pump here. Bobo. Interesting, right? I'm looking at this coin 3. It's like, oh yeah. Whenever you have a coin that starts with a number, you got to put a letter in first and then put the number in. So I'm watching this thing. It is starting to pump a little bit. It's got very low liquidity. So just bear with me. It's a brand new coin. But it looks somewhat bullish to me, like it could make a bit of a move to the upside. The daily had some legs still. The 4-hour was looking very interesting. The 12-hour also looked good to me. Now, to me, it's probably just consolidating a little bit. Give that 4 hours some time to probably come back down. But watch it. I'd watch this closely. What I like to do is set alerts and wait for consolidation. If I set like a day and a half later and this thing is still sideways in the zone and getting tighter, it's more and more likely we're going to get a move to the upside. So I'm watching this thing 3-0. I guess you would call it bull. Use the 3 as a B. Something kind of weird there. But that's what I'm watching this thing. And it just had a golden cross. Things are starting to move. I wait for this 4 hour to possibly reset before it gets a bigger pump. But I will watch this with an alert on it. I don't own any of it. All right. I'm not trying to get you to pump my bags. But I may trade that. I don't know. I haven't traded it yet, though. Okay. Shout out to everybody here. And shout out to the sponsors of the channel. Just did a beautiful video on ITrust Capital. Kind of explaining all the awesome things that they do. You will really love it. Check out ITrust Capital today. I'm telling you right now, it'll blow your mind. ITrust Capital. All right. What is it? It's an IRA, a Roth IRA, where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. You can have an IRA or a Roth. I mean, you can transfer either one. And if you're in an IRA right now, you can call them and they can go through the paperwork to transfer it over to them. They actually have a way, they have an exchange. Like you can buy and sell cryptocurrency on an app. It's amazing. And you can do it all inside of your account, tax-free. So I find it amazing. I was talking to my buddy about it last night, just conversationally. And we were saying, let's say they have Shiba Inu there, right? And let's say SHIB pumps really hard. And then you want to go back into BTC. And so SHIB does a 10x. And then you sell SHIB back into Bitcoin. And then, 20 years from now, you take out your Bitcoins and hand them to your kids, or, you give them their inheritance. And you never pay taxes on that massive SHIB rally that made you like 5 or 10 Bitcoins. So it's a pretty cool idea. If you can learn how to swing inside of the portfolio, there's almost nothing better than that, right? You save for the long term, you pay no taxes, and you can generate massive amounts more than normal than just holding if you know how to trade. So, and there's Bitcoin dropping to the downside as expected at 25,642. We gave you the call. We gave you the idea. We went over the fact that it was likely going to short. The 4 hour time frame just told me that it was likely coming to the downside. All right. And I trust my stochastics and my patterns at resistance. It is what it is. So there you have it. Once we breach this trend line, we will likely go further to the downside for Bitcoin. My target is the bottom of the channel, but we're likely to wick down like we did both times somewhere to get people out. Once we get this big wick in this drop, I would start to look for that, that divergence on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute time frame that can pull us back in to the 200 SMA. You see what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody here on the live. Where is everybody? 472 people. Where is everybody here on the live stream? I guess they come in usually at 10:45, 11, but we just did a beautiful update for Bitcoin. Got some coins that are likely going to pump too, and that look pretty interesting to me. So, anyway. But it's Thursday. I'm wondering what's going on Thursday. What's different about today than the other days? You never know. You never know. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. You guys seem to really like this one. This got 4,000 views and, it seemed to get a lot more reposts and comments. But so it's the last bag you're building with your last few G's. What is it going to be? ADA or XRP? The old input-output or the standard? I just thought that was funny, you know what I mean? XRP, the standard. You know what I mean? Back, if you're an oldie but goodie, XRP, the standard. You know what I mean? And there's that guy. If you know that guy. It says the ETF is getting approved, right? I just thought that was funny. Yeah. If you know that's from, that's insane. But anyway, shout out to everybody here. God bless that. Old people shouldn't be forced to work like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. LPT on the radar. Live peer, all right? If you're struggling, you can't afford the trading group, but you're able to watch free here. We want to give you that insight. We want to show you that we care about you. All right? We want to push you. Wow, live here is starting to fall down, though. Not getting that, that's another thing I want to tell you. The whole market could look great. If Bitcoin slumps, it'll take most of our setups to the downside. So when you see me post a bunch of nice longs that I'm looking at, and then I post a short for Bitcoin, it means close the freaking longs on those altcoins. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was going to happen every night. I'm not, you never know. So right now, this is actually halfway to the stop loss, down a little bit too. So I love showing a loss trade because every day we won. People are like, did these guys ever lose? And people question you. So it's good to show that we actually do lose, because you're going to lose. How you handle the losses is the key. You're losing this trend line right now. I have to be respectful. That's why it's so key to be anal about the trend line. Because if you say, oh no, I can move it over here now. Yes and no. To me, you just can't do that. You got to hit that line, and that really was the level. And this is moving down with Bitcoin. Looks like this may get stopped out. Might want to cut off some of these trades. You never know, though. It could be a whip back to the upside. So you never know. You got to do what makes you happy. No real strong divergence. Kind of a hidden bullish slightly right now. Nothing too crazy, though. The daily looks so bullish to me, so it's confusing. I'm like, maybe the 3-day is the one that's coming for us. Yeah, the 3-day is overbought, so caution now on the 3-day chart. I had not glanced at the 3-day yet. So the 3-day is saying, hey, let's flip on our moving averages. Yeah, it's just too far away from the 21 SMA. It's crazy, so we may not get that pump out of the daily. The daily looks good, but... And you got to read these signs, too. Okay? You got to read the signs. If had that stayed in and got tight, there's a chance it could have pressed on the 3-day, and we got a pump. Trend lines are super important, right? They're almost like religion. Like once you break a trend line, you have to heed it. Now, the chance it comes back up, that's why I keep my stop loss in case, Fat got the dump to the downside. Look at the daily. Every time a daily candle gets away from the white line, the 21, it's going to come back down for a nice little short to the downside, all right? Bitcoin just went down again, made another low there. Did it? Let's see. At 25,641, but attempting to bounce on the 1-minute time frame. But look at, that's just the ugly chop price action there. I'm just keeping my faith on the 4-hour time frame. And at the 4 hours, going to slowly take us to the downside here. Rising wedge breaking to the downside, Keeping it real simple. Most coins are going to follow Bitcoin to the downside. Okay? Shorts are in control. Yeah, so I just see a mostly red day kind of coming into the afternoon. Hype GPT got some moves. Bull got some moves. Bankcoin. And then, wait, what other things here? Today is the weekly screen share that we're going to go over all the things that I went over last week and more and break it down. Talk about the things that I'm accumulating to. I'm getting a lot of wild. I really like wild. I believe it's going to be a good coin long term. Wow, so now we got jobless claims. They came in way under forecast. Not a good sign, right? So the jobs report. My friend said he has an elderly lady that's someone in the trading group that sends him quotes every once in a while. I said, we have to realize that every day is a gift from God. Once this day is gone, we can never retrieve it. If we make the mistake of being negative, discouraged, grumpy, or sour, we've wasted the day. Some people squander year after year being unhappy because somebody is not treating them right, or because they are not getting their way, or because their plan's not working out as quickly as they would like. Today, make up your mind not to waste any more days. Celebrate each day as a gift from God. Be safe as you navigate your day. You know, and I learned that the hard way. I spent some years, you know, I was someone who was always in a good mood. I was like, oh, I feel good, life is good. But I was frustrated with life. You know, it wasn't easy. I couldn't work out every day. I kept saying I was going to, and I didn't. I'd say for weeks I'm going to work out, and then I wouldn't. You know, and I was just so sick of lying to myself. You know, when you lie to yourself, you hurt yourself more than anybody else. Like this, like, you can likely short flux because it's going to come back to the 21 SMA there. You know what I mean? That's pretty obvious. But, you know, so I realized, man, I got to start loving every day. And then I realized all the days that I wasted days, you know. Cybervein, I was looking at this thing. I remember the days where I was upset when I didn't need to be. And so right now, if today you're thinking, man, today could have been a beautiful day, but I was upset. You know, I also had some mental issues, man. Like I went to therapy. I was working out, whatever I needed to do for myself. Working out was what I needed to do. You know, and working out changed everything for me. I tell everyone, if you're in a rut, if you can't get out of your own way, if you're having trouble, you've got to start working out. I'm telling you right now, the physical movement creates this endorphin inside the body. The endorphin creates good energy. I work out every single day, and I work out right before the stream on purpose from about 9:15 to 9:50, 9:55. I go hard for a 45, 35-minute workout. And the second I jump into the stream, I'm dehydrated. I need to chug the water right off the bat. Need the water immediately, right? I'm like, let's go. And then I just have this energy to see the charts clearly too. Like, I'm looking at Bitcoin clearly today because I worked out. You know what I mean? And yeah, they're trying to bounce the price now. They're going to, oh, look at that. That's just nuts. It's just crazy chop price action, honestly, to be dead honest. Let's see if the 1 minute was low on a falling wedge, technically, but there was just really like, you know, I still don't buy it. 1 hour is, yeah, so the 1 hour, see, that's the one thing I said, like the 1 hour could break out of this falling wedge to the upside. That's the only thing that could like keep this in play here, is we respect this trend line and the 1 hour gives us a pump. Look for the retest of 25.7 on a smaller time frame, like a 5 or a 1. That's the only thing that I would, you know, if this can stay above this and flag out, fine. But if it just goes right back below it, like, you know, looks like we're getting a little bit of a short squeeze. We'll go to BOOKMAP. But I'm not going to claim to know. I knew that was just, the 1 hour wasn't a falling wedge with low stochastic. So, you know me, you got to give the 1 hour its respect. But yeah, we may jump up and then come down and clean up. I am buying more Bitcoin at these levels. 25K has been very nicely defended. So it's an area that I believe is just very, very strong, and an area that we definitely want to pay close attention to for sure. So I'm looking very closely. I would love to see if we can stay above 25.7. So now you slap on your moving averages, you're getting that space from the 21. This could continue to pump, but eventually you're going to flag out. This next flag could be bullish because you got the 1 hour that's sitting in your favor, and you just got above this resistance now. Bit of a double bottom there too. A little bit of a pump. And they're liquidating the shorts. So setting up for a nice possible scalp here on the 1 minute time frame. If this 21 can come up and we can stay above 25.7, that's exactly what I was looking for. A retest on the smaller time frame of this 25.7 area, and we could be in the money. Now, if it gives it right back up, it goes back down, right? So the retest is the anomaly that we're looking for now. Shout out to everyone in the chat. One coin that I brought up before, someone actually put on my radar again, which is another gaming coin. I like gaming coins and AI, really. GameSwift. All right. GameSwift is interesting to me. Can't even find the market cap really of it. It's so small. 103 million fully diluted. For some reason, they can't give me the market cap right now. They can't. It's unreadable. But look, we'll go to Dex Tools. It's on Arbitrum. You got a bridge to Arbitrum. Yesterday, I did bridge. It didn't go through. I don't know what happened there. But I'm going to do a video on how to bridge to Arbitrum and buy GameSwift. I'm going to show you how to purchase GameSwift. Has a really good code rating on token metrics, right? Now it's been sold off heavily. Look at that, 18 all the way back down to 17 since August 8th. So got heavily beat to the ground. I'm happy I didn't jump in yet. Not sure why it got sent down so hard, but I'll look more info here. And I believe this is the right coin. It's on Arbitrum. I just researched it and I do like it at 7 cents. Again, could go to zero. It's high risk, high reward. This is something that I'm looking at that could, you never know. So definitely be very, very careful with that. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I really appreciate it. So looking forward, right? When I look at, I just want to double check this. Look at the flag. When I look for coins, right, I'm always researching market cap, availability, code reviews too on token metrics. If it has a good code review, that's something that I'm definitely going to pay more attention to. All right. And just creating like a list of elements of why I want to be in something long term. And that took me a long time to figure out too. Like I didn't just immediately know what I wanted to buy long term or how to figure out what made me feel comfortable long term. That's a skill you also develop over time in conjunction with your trading, Is that it's that time, Sebi. In the house, baby, my man. Absolute. There's only 2 days in which we cannot do anything. Yesterday and tomorrow. The devil is the author of procrastination. Do it today. The devil wants you to sit and do nothing with your life. I'm telling you right now, and feel so messed up. 30x on Flux and Per XVX. 175 gains on the 1 minute. Longing 25,636 to 25,743. Another scalp. 25,618 to 695. 60x leverage. Insane. My man. I'm more bullish on ILV gaming coin. Parallel TCG and an Eco Prime token is something you need to look at. It's going to get listed on MEXC soon. Parallel TCG and its ECHELON Prime token. All right, cool, man. Thank you. ECHELON Prime. Is it out here already, too? Let's take a look. A new coin, everyone, that I've never heard about. ECHELON Prime. A $99 million market cap. $383 has been pumping hard from $350 to $383. Had a nice pump today alone. Ethereum. Let's take a look at the website and the Twitter. ECHELON Prime powering Parallel TCG and beyond with Prime. They got a Twitter. They got a Discord. 7,000 followers on ECHELON Prime. Our new site, eligible wallets can assemble and catch Prime drives. Just want to see what they're posting, how much they've been posting, how active they are. Got a bulletin there. All right. ECHELON Prime. Interesting. We'll take the actual. I'm copying that contract address to the wrapped ETH here. Wow, this thing has been on a tear. Let's take a look at this thing. And don't get discouraged. We find new coins all the time. But wow, it was just $1.55 here at the beginning in April. It's low in June, 124, and right there before the pop, 172. Went all the way to 458, came back down. Very interesting. And then made this bit of a falling wedge here that it broke out of. It says it has more legs, right? That's a larger measured move to the upside. And previous resistance becomes support. And then you're out of resistance here. I slap on indicators, RSI, and I do the relative and stoke. That's all I really need. Wow, that thing looks like it's about to pump on the 4 hour for more. And retesting previous support. That thing could do numbers. Where can you buy this thing? This thing, you can buy it on Uniswap right now, I believe. If it has an Ethereum address, it's on Uniswap. Coinbase too as well with the USD. So Coinbase has it. Interesting. At 389. So now I can go right back to this chart. I don't need to play games. And look at Prime USD. Didn't even make it yet. Oh no, I can't spell. I can spell, I can't type. I'm a really good speller, I just can't type. Wow, there you have it again there with movement on the 2-hour time frame. And that's how we find gains in the market. And this is something that we could trade on and off for the next few weeks. It's got this resistance. It broke back above, and it's got a target about 592. Wow, that 4-hour, that 3-hour, just getting started. The 1 hour a little high. Might wait for it to kind of consolidate a little more. I do something like this. Look for it to consolidate in a tighter zone. Then I put an alerts on this. And this is how gains are made. Everyone's like, how do gains are made? Well, you put in the work and the effort, the search. You spend in the time. You spend a lot of time. You know, I give my whole time to this every day. I give 8 to 16 hours a day, sometimes 20, you know, to researching, to teaching, to learning, to expanding thoughts, you know, just always on the grind. And so Prime now on our radar is something I'll be looking at with an alert that I could, you know, look for the trading group. So this is what the work I do. This is why you pay $3 a day. This is kind of, you know, this, I'm doing this when you're not watching me on the live. I'm doing this every day, all the time, in many different ways. You know what I mean? So, God bless everybody here on the live stream. Thank you for jumping on in. Now, I'm going to show you the chart that nobody's talking about, right? And it's total 3. This is what no one's talking about. And this is not clickbait, you know? I don't see enough people mentioning total 3, which is the market cap of all of the altcoins. It's got a high, it's got a low, it's got a lower high, but it's got a higher low there. First time, right? Low, higher low, higher low. 3 higher lows in a row since its massive downtrend. The weekly bullish divergence there got put in eventually, okay? It's even strong on the 3-day chart, telling us that is our bottom for the altcoin market. We got very close again one more time, and we're higher low. To me, this tells me it's time to start loading up on the altcoins. It's time to begin to build, you know what I mean? Like Matic, if you like, you know, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. But for me personally, these are the times I'm going to begin to load up and grab more and more of certain coins that I really appreciate and like. If we go lower, right, I'll buy more. But there's a high likelihood that we're very, very close to the lowest prices you could possibly get for these altcoins. Getting tight of the moving averages. Usually that we pump up to the 200 SMA, falling wedge. I just like what I'm seeing here on the 3-day chart, on the daily, on the 2-day. And this is just something that a lot of people aren't focused on, and I want to just ease your mind here. And I'm not saying it's altcoin season. We're going to start 10 and 20xing, and it's never going to stop, and the bull runs on. Please don't mistake my words for this, and don't start saying that the lifer said no. Well, I am saying it looks like we're going to get a little relief rally here for these alts, and we can get a little bit of a pump here, and these are great accumulation stages for altcoins, in my humble opinion. All right. 2-week chart comes down a little more and bends. I mean, that's going to be for me, like a really key area. Now, if we lose this and come on down, even still will be good spots for, in my humble opinion, to purchase altcoins. So, what altcoins do I like? I mean, I say you go through 50 of them and you find 10 that you really, really like, 10 or 12 that you really like, and then from those 10 or 12, you find another 5 that really make sense to you and speak to you, and then you go from there. You know what I mean? So that's the key. All right? That is the key. Okay. Now, funny. All right, so now moving forward. So if you look at total 3, right, we should definitely also look at total, and we're going to look at the DXY. I want to see what the dollar is doing. Remember that key level that we don't want to see the dollar get above? We're going to be watching that very, very closely. Key levels here for the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. Double click it, take off the oscillators, and just take a look at what we're looking at. Possibly still a double bottom here, right? We haven't ruled this out, okay? Now, the 2-week chart is going to close lower than the previous low, which isn't the best, but today, the 2-week chart will close on Sunday night, so we're going to find out for sure kind of what happens there. The weekly chart also closing below the previous lows there, not the best sign. Didn't go lower than the wicks, but, I'm all about candle closings. The daily, however, hasn't closed below the previous low, and the 3-day chart as well. And both of these, which is very interesting on total, are hugging what's called a hidden bullish divergence. This is swinging up, okay? While the RSI, I'll show you here closely, is swinging to the downside. You see, juxtapose price action and the RSI. I've traded this many times in my life, and it tells me that we're going to get a move to the upside. I know it doesn't make any sense. And again, anything is possible. If we get rejected by here and bearishly retest, then I'll call it short, right? And to me, it's more likely we go like this down to the bottom of the pattern, no? Pattern trading 101. But this is a hidden bullish. And look, I have it right here on the wicks. I'll take it off the wicks. Even just candle body to candle body is an uptrend. Now, if we get a dump and this gets flat here, it will negate the divergence. Second, this even goes slightly flat or sideways, the divergence will be over. And so we are, we're hanging on by a limb with this divergence, but I have to tell you every day that it exists. I have to go over this every day and explain to you that it exists. Now, this is a big deal here. I'm about to blow your mind. I don't think you realize what's going to happen. The Bitcoin ETF comes, then the Ethereum ETF comes, and then what? I mean, don't you think we'll have a Cardano? So a senior analyst at the global asset management firm Bernstein says multiple altcoin exchange traded funds are likely to materialize if a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved. Dude, Gautam Shuagani, who also works as a managing director of the global digital assets at Bernstein, says Grayscale's legal victory over the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission last week set unambiguous principles for regulators to use when considering spot crypto ETF applications. We suspect the crypto ETF opportunity won't just stop at Bitcoin, but will extend into multiple crypto assets. They may even take like Matic and maybe Solana and put them together. They could put a batch of 3 cryptocurrencies together. There definitely should be an XRP ETF, an Ethereum ETF. Kathy Wood now coming out with news of a Bitcoin ETF, of an Ethereum ETF. Spot. This is a big deal. I think this is something you should think about. If you haven't thought about it, change kind of the whole scope of everything here. So look, this 1 minute looks like it's interesting. Almost feel like it's attempting to SR flip this little area in its own little mini wedge. Bearish divvy there, though, starting to form. And again, at a very similar resistance, 20 side. But you did break above 25.7. The short kind of dwindling now sideways, right? And this whole week has been the worst week to trade. I talk about it all the time. And because I remember it happened to me about a month or two ago. We had a Monday off, or Memorial Day, right? And the whole week just never went. It just never traded the same. Like, we never got our Tuesday action. We never got our Wednesday action as much as we got the previous, the normal week. So I've noticed something about that Monday off. I don't know if it messes up their algorithm. It does something, Possible you could scalp this tiny trade here. And right as I said it had to pump. I thought I had a minute. I'm on the 1 minute chart, but I thought I had a minute. Your low stochastic, your curving, lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, wish I had got to this a little earlier for you. I apologize. You know what I mean? Show bang, bang, bang. I mean, this now, see this is just like struggling. You're going to get to this other area of resistance for Bitcoin at 25,766. All right. Low stochastic here too as well. Just kind of an issue. Not an issue, but it tells you you're going to get the pump. And there you go, off to the races. I love the stochastics RSI, man. So accurate when you get that curve up and you cross the line, especially once you get the pattern in conjunction with the 21. I mean, it is just a money printer. You can do it over and over again. It's basically my strategy, my style, over and over again. And just don't get greedy. Hit your targets, walk away. You know what I mean? when the Stokes get overextended, yeah, you could either put it into a stop loss to break even. But so far now we are getting, and this is the 1 hour getting that pump. See, look at the size of that 1 hour candle now. We haven't looked at it yet. Unbelievable. That's a bullish engulfing candle, and it's attempting to get above that point of control. What a messy price. You could call it a double bottom, and yeah, that just crazy, insane price action. 1 hour is bullish though. And as long as you move your stop loss to break even or into profit, you know what I mean? This is now the stop loss. You're basically at break even on the stop on the short now. I am going to take this away. So you either scalped the short for a little bit of money today, or you didn't. Could have got out with break even depending on how you traded that. And in and out, when I see chop, it's in and out. I wish I had been able to make this trade for you. The second I saw it, I didn't even have time to open up my account. Dang it. Had that green candle not pumped as fast as it did, and we got one more. But here's a scalp. I gave you 2 scalps yesterday. Here's another scalp. I wish I was... Even if you got it late, though, there you go for the beautiful pump to the upside. I mean, that's money right there. That's gains right there, right? Done. Call it a day. That one move is all... that one move with the right amount of skill and the right amount of leverage could pay you for the day. You know what I mean? Or at least give you, one of your pays for the day, and you can look for another move. But love trading Bitcoin for the volatility. Look for these same setups. The 21-day moving average getting very close to touching price action, and low stochastics on the RSI. I would be out on that at the target now. Don't play yourself. You're starting to get into some bearish divvy now, and you're getting into a rising wedge, right? And you hit a resistance at 25,784. There's another live trade idea there, and it could keep going. You never know. Anything is possible, but I'm in and out. Done. Either the stop loss is halfway into profit now, and you go from there, or I'm taking my money. You know what I mean? And there it solidly hit the target on a candle there now, not just a wick. Strong candle action. How did I know that was going to happen? Just because I talked about if we got back above a key level that we would retest it. Seemed like we kind of did it here. Then I saw that this was resistance, but we came to hit it. It was a bit of an SR flip. I saw the price action was near the 21. There's a high volume node there sticking out too, which tells you if you get above that, you get to the value area highs. So there was some things there that were telling me that this was likely going to happen. And the thing is, your mind's able to see that. I was able to see that with under 10 seconds, right? Because I was building up with what I was looking for. So, all right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Where's everybody? How come we're missing like 100 people? Probably a red engulfing now. That's how much I work. 5 minutes. Missing like 180 people from the live stream yesterday. Where are they? I want to know where they're at. You know what I mean? Any idea why 24,800 is so significant on Bitcoin? You know what? I talk about this all the time. The 8s, and you probably heard me talk about the 8s. And just think about it. They need levels. They need levels. You know what I mean? 25.5, 25.8. I don't know. This week was great. We were getting some of the biggest views we were getting in a long time. Stay with the lifers and you'll be blessed with an awesome community. Look at that. He said, I'll see a bearish engulf right after that. Look, and there was a bearish divergence starting to form, and you got overbought in the stochastic. Okay? You got to take that profit fast. In and out on days like today. In and out. We even showed you where it was likely going to reverse, based on divergence. Understand your divergence will change your life. Okay? Take your class with me. I'll go over divergences. I'll go over trend analysis. I'll go over so much to blow your mind. All right? Shout out to Lifer in the Lifer love of the chat. Smash the likes for the sharpest TA in the game. God bless everybody here. 575 people, 285 likes, $26 in chat revenue. Thank you for jumping on in. Now you're going to see another pump. It's a chance you're back to the 21 again, but I don't know. You're in a rising wedge now. Oversold. Yeah, the 5's beat. So now here's the deal. And that's why you also want to pick your time frames. Now, if you got on that wick, it would have been an amazing short. And look, What did we do? We just went to the top of this. I made this little symmetrical triangle, and we went to the top of the channel, right? Pattern trading 101. You might kind of make a few more candles to this level and then back down to the area again, you know? Live in light and love and positivity and trade at your highest frequency with the livers. Thank you for saying that. I saw one of them watching a liver video, so I didn't say anything. You're funny. How much size do you trade on short time frames? Right? Your in and out strategies. What's the dollar value of your daily gains that you can walk away from the desk for? It depends. You know what I mean? I personally don't need to make daily gains. I make so much money, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I made so much money trading in my life. I like to swing trade. I'm not a huge day trader. You know what I mean? At which level? But like, that depends how much money you put in. I usually would put in between $500 and $1,000. Yeah, between 300 and $500, right? And regularly at 66 leverage, you'll see me do a lot. I would have opened that trade with somewhere between $300 and $500 at 66x leverage, right? And you could make, you know, out of a gain like this right now, think about it. You could make whatever the percentage is times your leverage. So right there at 10x leverage, you're making 5%, about 4.9, right? And you could times that 10 by 6, you're making about 30%. So off the $500 in 15 minutes, you can make $150, $180, you know. Now you could up the ante too. It depends, you know. My Astra Long is printing a few percentages. Astra's awesome, man. That thing's been looking nice to me. And isn't that cup and handle that we talked about? So now look, Bitcoin got away from the 21-day moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Tells me that it now has to come back to the 21. See where the 21 is? So you just flag this out. If it flags out, it can continue. Or does it start to kind of make a drop back to the downside? But I know it has to revisit this white line. This is something that's going to happen. It pumped up too fast and it's overbought on the stochastics. At a resistance at 25,800. The 8s are always significant areas of resistance too. Just something to think about. This is, I never thought about it this. It's, you know, could that have been a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder? Very strange, but it did play out as such. But for me, it was even hard for my brain to identify. Liver's great DA analyst and even greater friend. Thanks for being there for Ben during these rough times. You're an inspiration, man. I just don't, you don't kick someone when they're down. Number one, like, you know what I mean? And number two, I want to say, dude, I love people on both ends of this. You know what I mean? And I know there's good people on both sides. You know what I mean? And it's not even sides. I know there's good people, right? Wow, short squeeze to the upside here. The 1 minute wants it again. Money trading the 1 minute again off the 21 was the pump. Low stochastic. That's just getting started, so it says it can go even more now. I take the length of that. That tells you where you're going to go again. 25,834 now. And this is going to lead me to brainstorm. I'm going to want to brainstorm here. Bitcoin USD. I'm going to see my KuCoin chart. All right. What I do here on the channel is I like to look at things just fresh to see if there's something I'm missing. You know, the 1 hour is aggressive. So, and honestly, look at that. It's interesting. I mean, that is shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. If we just dismiss this crazy pump, it's got the inverted head and shoulder vibe. It's almost got a diamond vibe too. Pretty weird, right? It's a very strange pattern. We can say this is a higher low in a trend. And wow, the 1 hour got big. So it's like, that's why I'm always saying, like, the 4 hour looked good for a short, but the 1 hour wants to pump on you. So it's like, a lot of times I wait for the 1 hour. Like, I've traded both either way. Like, we still got the scalp with the short. You get it? But the 1 hour was just sitting there like, I want to pump. And I'll tell you why, because I used to trade the 4 hour and not look at the 1 hour. And one time I traded the 4 hour and I got nailed, right? And I was like, huh. Another time I did it again. And one day I was like, well, and I looked at the 1 hour and the 1 hour was going to pump every time I was opening up the 4 hour, even though the 4 hour looked like it was going to dump. And I learned my lesson that I have to watch the 1 hour, right? And that's where my whole system began, where I started crunching the 15 to the 7 to the 1 to the and getting all the time frames together. You know what I mean? That's where all this came from. It started from doing the wrong thing too many times and getting banged out. You know what I mean? So all right, so the 1 hour time frame in a falling wedge pushing to the upside. If it gets above this resistance, I mean, you're going to move. So the 1 hour coming for the resistance, next level will be 25.9, that, you know, and then you're at 26,500 again, right? So honestly, let's let this 1 hour push out. The 1 hour wants to keep pushing to the upside and see if the 7 minute makes a flag. So what I would do is I would flag out the 7 right here and right now. The 7 can flag out and touch the 21. The 1 hour could continue us to the upside. Good call on the 1 hour. Swing trades take a lot of patience and proper risk management. Yep. Sammy got wrecked trading the 4 hour. No, definitely not. Why would you say that? I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna be like sensitive about it. Why would you say why would you say that? You know what I mean? Dump City. Dump. You guys are funny, man. On the 1 minute, you must be watching the 1 minute. I mean, now you got a strong bearish divergence. See that? And you short bearish div. Rising wedge back to the downside. 21's too far from the 200. All right? But that's why I just watch the 7. The 7 will, you know, and this could give it all back. You know? There's a chance it gives it all back, for sure. What I'm looking at is I raise this. The smaller time frames suggest that you hit the top of the channel. The bigger time frame suggests no, but that can get confusing for beginner traders. Hold on. And I have to almost like take that off, which I don't like doing. It's almost a breakout. I guess you could say it's wicking right at resistance. Got liquidity to the upside, but not a lot. Interesting. We're in the middle of the RSI. This will break out, dude. You're funny. Okay, appreciate the clarification. Yeah. My stop loss did trigger, and I was in the profit. Amen. See, there you go. Yeah, that's why I was just laughing. I was like, I don't get it. You know. Anyway. FTX executive pleads guilty to criminal charges. There you go. I mean, yeah, of course, man. You can always track back to check it out. Yep. It was covered early in the stream. It'll be timestamped after the stream is over. Feel free to rewind or wait till the stream is over to get the timestamp. That's what's pretty cool about the live stream, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to the fan funding. Let's take a look here. Cody Macwin for GFAL. We got Cody Macwin for Casper, and he sent 2 super chats. God bless you. Hey, brother, you may want to take a look at BOB. Zach Sanchez. Bob. Ernest Lee for the $9.99. God bless you, Ernest. Thank you. And Crypto Billy. Prime is on Coinbase, too. Thank you for saying that. Keep up the great work, Lifer. Crypto Seth. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Absolutely. There are only 2 days in which we cannot do anything. Yesterday and tomorrow. The devil is the author of procrastination. Do it today. My man, Liberty in Trust. And we'll take, you say you want to look at Bob. Yeah, so just 7 minutes oversold. I'm waiting for I wouldn't take a short right now. I would just wait for price action to consolidate. And if it consolidates, there's a 7-minute chance we have a nice, because the 1 hour is in our favor, right? So the chance we have a nice scalp here on the 7 that we could take. So this is kind of the next trade that I'm possibly thinking of taking if everything plays out well on the 7. If it starts to dump more and go down in a falling wedge too, then it's likely we jump to the bottom of the pattern. And I like to be preemptive, and now we got rejected by 25.8. The 8s are in important areas. My man D-Dubs, injective, please. Thank you. Injective's simple. I got a photographic memory on that. All right. It's in the flag, cup and handle. It made the higher low. Did it break down a little more? We'll see that. It was holding that higher low, cup and handle, and then I drew a triangle inside. I can see it in my brain right now. You know what it looks like, right? You see it, right? As clear as I do. So let's take a look at INJ USDT here on MEXC injective. It looks like it did breach my trend line a little bit there. It's been hugging. It's been hugging that trend. So we go to the daily, and this is what I'm saying. It's been in this cup and handle inside the triangle, right? And it's been holding the bottom zone, very oversold, right? Just kind of hanging out. Still in the trend line, still doing its thing. Nothing really has changed. Yeah. I don't know if you're swing trading or scalping small time frames, but I'm watching injective on the daily, and I want to see it bounce, come up and down, and consolidate in this green area. If I see nice consolidation, that's going to be a great pickup for injective. 1664 is the target. It's already bounced off key Fibonacci areas. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on there. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so injective, low, high, higher, low. That's a trend. It's a good trend. It's in an uptrend. So you want to see that uptrend continue. It could be in an M pattern, double topping. We've mentioned that, but a 3-day chart would be overbought if you were getting a double top. And to me, the 3-day chart already reset with a higher low. It just tells me there's more likelihood of a bigger move to the upside. Let me see. One other thing I want to see, though, on another chart on injective. Is it on Binance? Let me see if I can find it on another, like on Binance, and if it's a little bigger. I just want to see if I can get the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart here on another time frame. I can. I mean, sometimes it does like to come down to the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart. That's something that, you know, but if we get the consolidation like we're looking for, and we're almost like in a channel, and we break back up, right, and back down, the moving averages will kind of go up with it, then down with it, and hopefully they'll get real tight, and then the 200 will be somewhere here, and then we can blast. So we don't have to, we have to come near to it. We don't have to touch it yet. So that's just interesting to me, and it's got some cup and handle vibes. It's been basically in an uptrend since January, when it was only $1. So this thing, we put it out back here too. One of the best calls in the channel. We rode it from $1 in January all the way to $9 in April. It was like an amazing move. You know what I mean? So this thing is amazing. Absolutely amazing, right? Injective protocol. And I believe it's going to be a great long-term hold. Buying back then was the key because you're already up at 6x. You know, it goes to $1 and you're in down near $1.50. That's way different than going to $1 from $6. Both are great. But that's the key. The key is that insight. You know what I mean? That insight, right? A huge deal. Visa reveals crypto payments bombshell that could cause Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, and Tron and Toncoin price chaos. What? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies are trading sideways despite a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission insider priming the market for a $15 trillion earthquake. This is some, like, come on, man. This is some clickbait, man. The Bitcoin has lost more of its summer gains in recent weeks. Insiders prime crypto market for $15 trillion Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP price ETF game changer. That's what I'm saying. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies could be headed into one of the biggest ever months that one crypto watcher, he said, will be crazy. The Bitcoin price has crashed ever. Yeah, I mean, the total three, the charts are telling us that a big move is coming to the upside. You know? So if we do get the ETF, it's going to explode. All right? Visa payments will rely on multiple blockchains. I mean, that's a good idea, right? And they're expanding. We talked about this the other day, right? I believe they're going to have Matic, Solana, right? So Visa is basically becoming a blockchain company, man. And they're the biggest payment company in the world. So smart. They don't want to become Blockbuster, right? So Krugman compared Bitcoin transactions to forking over a paper bag filled with $100 bills in a dark alley to someone else. He said innovating the greenbacks territory should be left alone. That's so funny. Cryptocurrency cultism is a tenet of public policy debates and wealthy tech bros that tend to gravitate towards. He chalked up people's interest in crypto to those who are likely to think they understand money better than economists. It's funny. The problem, you know what it is it revealed that economists don't understand money fully because they're taking information from flawed statistics. You know what I mean? Like they believe in the numbers and they don't question what their teacher tells them when they go to Penn, School of Business and stuff. And eventually they become jaded. I was asking Vivek Ramaswamy why, I understand that we live in a Ponzi scheme with the Federal Reserve, but someone that goes to Harvard Business School still thinks that it's not a parasitic banking system. So to me, I'm very confused by it all, right? Like, I don't understand why people who claim to have the degrees have no idea what's going on. So if they did, then we wouldn't be in this position, you know what I mean? And people that got into Bitcoin early wouldn't be richer than them. If they were so smart and they understood the economy so much, how come some 13-year-old kid buying ETH got, you know what I mean? And some people did it fine. They got lucky. They just bought the coin. But some people knew. Some people could see big things coming in the markets and were like, you know what? So here's the level we're going to bring to you every single day. 105. Wow, the dollar index getting the pump. Funny. Getting a little pump with Bitcoin, which is interesting. We saw this flag yesterday. We got the pump. However, we got a bearish div that we really, really wanted to see here as this is moving down on the RSI, up on price action. And we ended up making what looks to me like, the beginnings of a rising wedge, too, that could break to the downside, right? So less flaggy, more rising wedge-like. I want to move that. And that could break us to the downside. We desperately need this breakdown. I want to see the 21 get further away from that 200, right? The 1 hour is pushing down right now. We'd like to see the divergence begin. The 4 hour has momentum to the downside. Come on back down, baby, to the bottom of this channel. Show it and then maybe double top. Make an M pattern and dump or bearishly retest. Bigger time frame suggests we are going to get a move to the downside. We waited out this 3-day pump. It happened from the low stochastics all the way back up. It's, and honestly, Bitcoin didn't dump a lot for how much the dollar index went up. And I believe that's because the halving anticipation is creating somewhat of an incorrelative vibe. You know what I mean? We did get our dump, right? But that dump kind of was ETF in the news ensued. We are seeing these get tight. I do want to see price action come back to this 200 SMA. We want to make sure that we do not get above this resistance here. 105, really 20, 105.15. And our last big area is if we fake out, breakout, and just touch 105.63. But we start closing candles, especially a 3-day candle, above 105.63. That's just not going to be the best sign for Bitcoin. That could say we could have a massive breakout on the dollar. So we want to see the dollar get resistance from these levels and move back to the downside. These are key areas we're going to be watching and talking about for the next few days over and over and over again. All right. And look at the gains in the trading group, man. Shout out to my peoples, man. 53%, 63%, 64%, 106%, 20x leverage on these alts. Pepe, 125. That's crazy. My man, Ma Barley, banging on them. And I fell asleep and woke up to gains, turned $3 into $100. Imagine turning $3 into $100. And think about it. He was trading perp, which was one of the bigger gainers of the day. And he didn't have to think about it because the worst comes to worst, he was going to lose $300. He just made $100, risking $3. I mean, That's it. Look at 3332. And that's what we teach in the leverage trading group every single Sunday, man. So if you want to learn leverage, if you want to learn how to trade, if you want to get busy, please jump on in, hit the QR code, hit the link below, become a leverage master, advanced strategies and risk management. Also have access to another section in my trading group where we have like I have a person that I really appreciate and love, that I've given access to my whole world, which I never do. And it's it's like I gave him access to my baby, really, and your consciousness. But I believe he is a great person for that, and I vetted him. And for $150, you will get his trading course on Sunday. You'll also get access to him, and I think he mentored 3 times this week, man. He sat there and went live inside the Discord. He loves it. He really gets a lot out of helping people, and he's excited to be more immersed in the Lifer trading group. So, he's a young, new teacher who's been amazing, and everyone that takes the course has had a lot of awesomeness, and we've seen a lot of results come out of it. So jump on in today. I'm telling you right now, I got a lot from the course, and I was trading for 15 years. A different type of mind with a different type of look. So hit the QR code, hit the link below. I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. You'd be pompous to think that you couldn't learn from that class. Shout out to everybody here on the live. And where do we make our trades? We make our trades on MEXC. And I love MEXC. I bring it up. They're better to everyone they do business with, in my humble opinion, than any exchange that I've ever been with. And they're better, they do business with us as traders, and they take the least amount of fees. So to me, MEXC is just the reason why I like MEXC the most, and why I do push it, and why I talk about it every single day on my channel, is because I don't want to see people buying things with tons of fees, right? Like, you don't have to spend, if you don't have to spend fees, why? Put your money into Bitcoin, or into your long-term holds that matter. I love to DCA on MEXC because the fees are very, no fees DCAing into MEXC. So when I'm adding to a long-term bag, when I'm grabbing a coin, I don't have to worry about it or stress it. Link to my trading group right there too, where you would have been, privy to kind of what was happening tonight, last night, and even the little short that we took money on this morning, and the MEXC link, and my Facebook group that we're getting started and getting going. Join the Facebook group today. I'd love to see you there. All right. The knowledge you gain from the Discord is amazing. I love the way everyone is constantly helping each other gain an edge in the market. Lifer strong. Amen. Okay. Super chats, Caspa and Bob. Yes, Bitcoin could dump with the US dollar as well. They don't have to be completely uncorrelated. We talk about it all the time. I actually did a video about the DXY, which you definitely should check out on my channel. That was the creepiest video ever. He talking about a nugget. I can't even, that bugged me out. I'm leveraged plenty of time, but so risky even for people that know. Yep. Just hit no. Shorts getting wrecked. Let's go back to BTC. And back to that 1 hour time frame that was just ripping and dipping. And back to we're watching, now we all know what's going on, right? So the shorts went up again, and now we're coming back. Oh, wow, look at this. Honestly, man, the volatility the last few days has been, I don't know what BlackRock's doing. The ETF has been creating heavy volatility. Like, it really has. At the end of the day, price action has to touch the 21. It can keep going up as much as it wants, but eventually you're gonna come back down to that 21. This may wick up. I'm looking for consolidation. It will take an hour and a half. I make no trade till the 7-minute resets and I see where it lands. Okay? You could trade the 7-minute back to the 21 technically, but it could go so sideways that the trade could be boring. Right now it's playing out, but it doesn't always do that, Short 100x, let's go. PM squared, learn to mitigate. Yeah. In New York, can't use MEXC. I'm sure you can, man. You just don't know how. I leveraged plenty of times, but so risky even for people that know. Is it better to wait for perfect entry than trying to chase after volatility every time, man? The only nuggets we need are gold nuggets. Did you watch that video about the nugget, though? I'm not going to repeat it after. I'm not going to say what I'm saying, but, Did you watch it, Jamie? Like, what the heck was he saying? And there you go. GFAL fell to the downside. We talked about that. 7-minute dumped on the low stochastic, rising wedge, bearish divergence. Nice play. If you can use it in the New York fam, get right with the people to put you on. You can use it in New York fam, get right with the people to put you on. D-Shuffle, you're the man. Double top on the DXY on the daily. That's what we want. Okay. All people will learn the hard way. Hope we all succeed. Yeah, I mean, I didn't touch leverage for... honestly, all right, here's the deal. Everything in life. If I wanted to become a landscaper, all right? Let's just say I want to become a landscaper. I would find a really good landscaping company, research a bunch of different ones, and then I would work for one of them for at least like 6 months to a year. And I would write, and I wouldn't really worry about the pay. I would be watching everything all the time and focusing on the information. And then I would and so basically if I wanted to do something at the high level, I want to find something that does it at a high level and mimic that, right? So if you want to become a pro trader, like I'm a pro trader, I do it every day. That's what I do for a living. You want to make money trading, right? You want to also make big money in bull markets. And, VPN will allow you to trade on MEXC. I don't even, yes and no. I don't even need one. But the point is, you do what the, 777's right there. But you do what the successful people did to get successful, period, right? I didn't touch leverage for 7-8 years, okay? I didn't. I trade ETFs, which were 3x, but they weren't leveraged. So, and I made over $500,000 never touching leverage. See what I'm saying? Never. And I turned 10,000 into, 500 grand, never touching leverage. So like, you could go that way if you want. I'm just telling you, I never did it. I do it to learn, to gain and to take more advantage, maybe build a bag bigger. But, and again, I'm not putting down leverage trading. I want to make this clear. I'm just telling my story. My story, right? My story, right? My story doesn't mean your story isn't great, okay? I just tell my story, okay? I turned 10,000 into zero. How many years did you make these gains? It took a long time for me to change my life. I started trading when I was 25 years old, okay? I'm now 40 years old, all right? I was like, I'm going to make it as a trader. I'm going to start investing. I'm going to change my life. And just like every 25-year-old. And I got into different things. And I got into Great Panther Limited at $2,500 and I turned it into $9 grand. It took about 40 days. I didn't leverage trade. It was a spot trade. I then took the $9 grand and I found Canopy Grow Corp, right? And I put $6 grand of it into Canopy Grow Corp. And it would balloon into over $30,000 to $40,000. Then I would find Bitcoin when it was like 500 and I would research it. And when it was like around 1,000, I started buying more with the money that I made from this $2,500. And then so Bitcoin went to 60,000, let's just say, and let's just say you have 10 of them. I'm not going to say how much Bitcoin I have, but let's say you had 10. Okay. Now you're sitting on 600 grand and you started with $2,500. And that took me, let's think, in 2005 it took me 13 years. Right? To turn $2,500 into 600. And I did other things besides that. I got into Cardano at 2 cents. I traded gold and silver ETFs. But these three plays, the Great Panther Limited, the Canopy Grow Corp, and the Bitcoin play. And I also I knew about Ethereum at $9. And I started buying Ethereum when it was 89. I was late. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not lucky. You could say I was lucky, but even at 9 years old, I dreamed of doing something big with my life. And I dreamed of changing my life, and I researched investing, and I researched finance, and I studied history, and I started buying gold and silver coins. Before I even made my first trade, I was buying gold and silver. So like, I'm not someone that wants to get rich quick on leverage. Like, I'm someone that wants to slowly gain and continue to learn and continue to grind. And I want the old, slow grind, baby. And I want to just compound. And now that's why I'm not going backwards, because I didn't make it fast. I'm not going to lose it fast. I made it nice, and I grind it up, 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 and I grind it up. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, just my story is a story of perseverance, determination, never giving up, constantly believing in myself, no matter how hard it was, no matter how no one was behind me. You know. So we got this new coin. Someone just gave us WELT. Fab WELT. Never heard of it. Write this down. Another new coin in the game. And as the market starts to go, we'll get more and more. Having Lifer as a mentor will expedite your learning process in an insane way. Shout out to Manus Drihai. I'm going to help you learn how to learn. I live in New York and I use Macy and KuCoin. Still buy on KuCoin with my debit card. How? Really? You got to tell me how you're doing that. How are you trading on KuCoin? I can't trade on KuCoin. All right. Desire, dedication, discipline, and determination. Web gaming evolved. Contact Fab WELT. And they already got some cool stuff going on here. Flues, droids, Pandera, our ecosystem. Multiple high-end games. Play to earn NFTs. Okay. App coming. Chance of skill. Compete in tournaments. The future of esports. Dude, this site is in depth. It doesn't look like some type of fly-by-night. Dedicated team. Dude, this thing, wow. I'm impressed by the website. Like, doesn't look like, you know, we're here to do Web3 and change the world. You know, that whole, like, I'm always like, next. You can stake it, too. How much can you gain stake in this thing? Not much deposited yet. It's very, very 4% APY. And they even got their own swap. Interesting. Or is this on Polygon? Yeah, it's Polygon. Yeah, it's a Matic swap, but it's basically like probably a quick swap connection, you know. So you can buy it with your Matic on the Matic network through Polygon. So you can download MetaMask, right? You can install the Polygon network, Polygon mainnet. You can send Matic to that address on your MetaMask wallet, and then you can buy WELT here. Brand new coin. I just found out about. It could go to zero. You never know. Well, it has a Binance smart contract address. So that means we could also buy it. Wait, hold on. That's weird. Oh yeah, it's got a Polygon and a BNB. So you can buy it on PancakeSwap, and I love that. I love when you can get it on two decentralized exchanges. That means smart. PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, BitTrue, Bitmart, OpenOcean. This thing is something you could see on MEXC in a month or two from now, right? So let's take a look at its chart. I'll take a look at the Polygon chart, I guess. You got to hover over more. They changed that in the last 6 months. Dex screener. We're going to search this and take a look at it. WELT. Fab WELT. Never heard of it. Up 30% today. Wow, this thing is banging on them. Wish we knew about it back last week at half a penny. Now it's already at a penny and a half. This thing has been blasting. It was just it's done a 3x since June. It's been just going up and up and up. Oh, actually, okay, it came down. That's nice to know. All right, so it's kind of in an accumulation phase after looks like VC sold it off like they do. Then the real project begins. What is the Connors? What is that? Connors RSI. I've never heard of it. I never used it. A little high for me now, but this is something that I would wait for like a bigger drop and then maybe begin to build a bigger bag of this. This is something that I could, it's like another, I might just put 500 to $1,000 in it and see where it goes, but I'll write this down. WELT. So I got WELT, I got GameSwift. I got some coins, man, that I'm willing to add to my bigger bags. We'll take a look at Casper. We'll take a look at Bob. We'll take a look at BLZ. I just got to jump right into the news segment real quick today, too, as well, to see kind of what's happening in the news. Market's a little flatter today than normal. You know what I mean? Still got the volatility, though. What am I doing here? What am I doing? Why is that like that? I don't want that. How do I take that off? Add current tab. You'll find your reading list here. I don't want a reading list. I don't know how I just did this. Nope, I just hit that. Yeah, all right, cool. Still on my radar, 4 hours coming back down. Watch for it to dump. It could even end up making a falling wedge. We don't know. It's the key is the stochastic. The stochastic is the key. They'll form the pattern, okay? So we see Illuvium, please. Thank you, sir. Send in a super chat for TA and deep dive, my friend. I greatly appreciate that. It would mean the world to me if you did that, all right? Also respects all the other people that did the same. So it's not like you're not saying, hey, I'm better than you. You should go over my coin, even though you super chatted, right? I don't know if I'm being rude, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just bringing up an idea, you know. Anyway, so where are we now? We're here at the news. I'm like, where are we? Look at me now. Look at me now. Okay. My name is Samuel James Price. I'm the Crypto Lifer, and every single day I do the Crypto Lifer Show. And in the show, we do a 3 to 5 minute news segment to keep you up to date with what's happening so you don't get caught with your pants down, all right, when it comes to crypto. Hey, make you laugh there. Hey. Van Eck, ARK filings officially start the clock for spot Ethereum ETFs. Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seffart expects more spot Ethereum ETFs to be filed in the coming days. The race for the United States' first spot Ethereum exchange-traded fund has officially began after a new 19B4 filings by the Chicago Board Options Exchange, the CBOE, which will ultimately start the clock for a Securities and Exchange Commission decision. On September 6th, the CBOE filed two 19B4 applications to the United States Securities Regulator, requesting for ARK 21 shares Ethereum ETF and Van Eck Ethereum ETF investment products to be listed on CBOE's BCS exchange. In a series of tweets, Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seffart noted that as opposed to the previously submitted S1 filings, the 19B4 filings mean that the countdown for a decision by the SEC is now in motion. Ooh, the spot ETF race is officially on. It's early, but I'd estimate a final deadline on these applications to be around May 23rd of 2024. After the halving of Bitcoin, going to get pretty crazy. So this is some news you definitely want to know about, right? And especially if someone brings it up and you don't know. So we want to hit you with this awesome information. Ethereum thought leaders are coping with Lido dominance. Yeah, says Blockworks research analysts. I mean, if you have a layer and then someone does a faster layer on you and it starts to do better, don't you think it's going to... In a spicy take on Lido's liquid staking dominance, David Rodriguez says Ethereum thought leaders aren't being realistic about the problem and are in fact coping. Rodriguez explains that some leaders are suggesting Lido should take one for the team, voluntarily limiting itself to 22% staking dominance, well below its current position at around 32% of the market. Competing liquid staking providers are valiantly promising that they would, of course, do the same, if only they could first grow more than 10 times in size to even face the same dilemma, right? The overall argument is that if Lido has more than 33% market dominance, that hurts Ethereum's credible neutrality. Lido essentially becomes a governance wrapped over Ethereum, which specifically was never meant to have on-chain governance. You see what I'm saying? You stake Ether, you have governance. If more people are staking Ether on Lido, Lido governance becomes the actual governance of ETH, and that was never the plan. This is something people don't think about. This is why there's going to be a new coin sometime in the next year or two that we don't know about either, because this technology moves so fast, and our minds are always kind of bending and spinning on it, and some great mind is going to come up with a solution and an idea that needs to be implemented, and sometimes they're too far along in the first coin that they've made. They need to get the coin they've already built, that blockchain, back to where they need it will take too long than to build a new one. And that's probably why some of the people left Matic to go to Avail. Like, they just see, wow, like they get excited for the idea of something different, something new on the forefront. Coinbase-backed insurance alternative Open Cover debuts on Layer 2 blockchain Base. Open Cover, which raised $4 million in a seed round led by the likes of NFX and Jump Crypto, received a $200,000 funding bump from Coinbase to bolster its debut on Base. Open Cover, a distributor of decentralized insurance aimed at cryptocurrency and Web3 platforms, has gone live on Base, the Ethereum overlay blockchain built by NASDAQ-listed U.S. exchange Coinbase, the mutual insurance provider. Yeah, we know what Base is, yeah. But Open Cover is working with decentralized finance cover provider Nexus Mutual, which allows investors to collectively govern pools of capital to provide insurance, like cover under the auspices of a UK-based discretionary mutual. Insurance within the crypto industry is sparse, and experimental areas like DeFi present a set of risks that even digital asset underwriting specialists tend to shy away from. And there were some DeFi insurance out there, and there's like a bunch of different ones. And I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I knew a bunch. We were actually researching them before. And everyone, that is the news. And thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing, baby. Crypto is life. Let's get back into BTC. See if I see a live trade or anything happening right now for Bitcoin. And we're going to finish those super chats for Caspa and BOB. We're not done yet, baby. We got you. Don't worry. We do not forget super chats. We keep a list of them. We come back to the list and we make sure we maintain the gain. Let's take a look here at the 7-minute time frame. It got extremely volatile here, up and down. I'm just going to watch it. We knew it had to come back to the 200 SMA. We knew when it was here, it was going to come back to the 200 SMA. I mean, the 21. That was a necessary known. I wasn't sure if the candle was there. Yeah, 6 minutes. Hold on. No, I think it is there. I think that's the candle right there. Moving around. Yeah. The candle's right there. You just can't see it because price action hasn't like moved out of itself. It's so crazy, right? Look at the candle. You can't see the candle. You can barely see the candle on the 1 minute. It just opened again and you can't even see it. There it is. I see this downtrend forming. You see this? It almost has a descending triangle vibe. Kind of a head, a shoulder. I mean, a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Or shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. Rounded tops do not pay the bills. Right? Nobody wants a rounded top. Head and shoulder vibing. Bearish div vibing. So I see a pullback, at least for the 1 hour, back to the 200 SMA, you know, and then we'll see what happens. But I see a pullback back to this area here at about 25,700, and then we'll go from there. This is an insane chop, though. Crazy chop action. Scalping on the smaller time frames seems to be the only option. Right. One last bit of news. Crypto Whale loses 24 million in staked Ethereum to phishing attack. A significant portion of stolen funds has been transferred into fully automatic cryptocurrency exchange FixFloat. Wow. A significant portion of the DAI stash has already been transferred. My goodness. Imagine losing 24 million. And shout out to my buddy AJ, man. AJ on Twitter said he lost all his funds. I hope it's a fell off the boat type of thing, but I mean, he's pretty truthful, so you know what I mean? But last night, my MetaMask got wiped. I'm embarrassed. The story is too long to type, but it's a teaching moment, so I'll post a video about it later on. And at least they didn't get my Sappy Seals NFT. So, but don't keep all your money on your MetaMask, all right? That's number one rule, right? Have yourself a hardware wallet, please. Right here, I have a Trezor. I have a link to a Trezor here. Make sure get yourself a Trezor right now. I have the Trezor Touch. Great place to keep your Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, the main cryptocurrencies here. They don't have access to every single one of them, but the main cryptocurrencies. I also have a Ledger. All right, I have a Ledger X, and I also have a Ledger, you know, a Ledger Nano X, and I have the bigger Ledger too as well. I have them all here. Get yourself a hardware wallet, man. Please, please get yourself a hardware wallet today. Super, super important. All right. Don't play yourself. And if you do have a MetaMask, you can attach your MetaMask to your hardware wallet. Okay, go ahead and do that too as well. All right. So sorry to hear that, AJ. When I read that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's crazy, man. You know. Anyway, shout out to everyone following me here on Twitter. 17,600 followers on our way to 20K, baby. I'm telling you, we're going to get more followers on Twitter than we have on YouTube at one point. We are growing fast. I really, really appreciate it. One tweet that got everyone kind of laughing here is, so it's your last bag you're building with your last few Gs. What's it going to be? ADA or XRP? The old in and out put or the standard? You know, and I know it's funny. I got a like from the Martini guy because he's from, you know, he's from UK, the old internet. I just thought it was funny. I don't know what made me say it, but last night, that was kind of what I did. I like driving through Twitter with the top down. Tom Crown liked that. Right? There's the Martini guy, man. Love you, brother. We got to have him on the channel. See if I can message him. Oh, I can DM him. I'm going to DM him and say, hey, bro, let's hang. I've been watching him for a long time. I'd like to collab. Get him on the show. Reach out, let him know. You know, maybe it won't be too big for me. He probably clicked on the link he should have, which put his MetaMask token from his computer and installed the sweeper script. I am here every single day supporting. Shout out to Einko Petkov, my man. Martini is a cool dude. I mean, he lived his dreams, right? He's got the Lambo. He went hard. Everybody on YouTube, man, they went hard for their dreams, baby. And that's what I'm doing every single day. So may God bless each and every one of you for being here. Sam, is your live stream extended to Twitter? Yes, it's on Twitter every single day, baby. Every single day we live stream to Twitter to support X and to kind of give it the love, you know what I mean? We want X to get that love. So we're all over GFAL, nailed it to the upside, all right? And my baby Merit Circle, also MCB, was it? I think it was MCB. Or MC Dex. It's got a nice pump, gave it all back, but it got a nice pump this morning of about 12%. Got sold out, but the wick came back up into price action, you know, following Bitcoin. Bitcoin's volatility affects a lot of the altcoins. Just happens all the time. Let's take a look at the NQ. I know my peoples are trading the NQ all day long, right? And at the end of the day, look, 12-hour hit resistance, and the stochastic was high here, right? And you rolled over. It's interesting. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily also overbought, saying, hey, I want to dump now. What's creepy is, I mean, look at it. You see it, right? Let me get rid of this for a second. The 3-day chart looked like we could get busy on the NASDAQ, right? See that? But curving down, you could have another hit of resistance there hard on the NASDAQ. I'll tell you, man, the daily's got a head and shoulder vibe on it, right? And say you were in your uptrend, you change trend, you're usually in a downtrend, like, you know. But that's a head and shoulder that could definitely dump on you to the downside. You lose this point of control and you can gap right back down. So the NASDAQ showing some signs, and when the 21 and the 200 are far apart, you usually come back. And you could pull a fib from like this impulse or this impulse. I mean, you got your 786 that coincides with touching the 200 SMA. Wow, looks like the NASDAQ may take a bit of a dump here, down to 15. Looks like the NASDAQ may take a dump here, down to 15. You know what I mean? And from that angle probably is the best, you know what I mean? But try to clean up here too. I'll put the dog bag there. Anyway. So yeah, but that's a head and shoulder pattern on the NASDAQ, clear as day. You got a bearish div here too as well. So overall, it looks like shorts are going to play out more than longs for the NASDAQ as it's starting a trend to the downside. Okay? Now, it's still okay. It had its nice pump out of here. Doesn't mean it's over yet, and it could consolidate before a bigger move. Like, it might end up doing something like so. But it looks like it's going to come down, and then, you know. But I see the NASDAQ making a move to the downside. Shorting the NASDAQ looks like a pretty good idea for me, personally. What else are you talking about, everybody out there? What are you going over? What gets you going? Break it down for me today. Let's talk about NAKA, which I've had and I've been watching very closely for a while now. So I could see this falling wedge break up. It did, 17% gains. We gave that trade, nailed it for NAKA, and now it's consolidating. So let's take a look. Now it's consolidating, but the daily overbought, likely to come back down to the bottom of the channel. So, and you're kind of getting a shoulder head and a right shoulder there. You're getting wavy. Moving averages could get tight. I do see the more likelihood here of a short for NAKA back to the bottom of this channel here. You get me going. Going where? You get me going. I grabbed a Tangem a few months ago, but my older phone is not compatible. You get me going. You said what gets you going. You get me going. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought I was asking about, like, the charts, though. Is there any coin that gets you going, BB? Me and my wife don't talk a lot, but we talk during the live stream. You know what I mean? That music was so weird. We only talk during the live, right? In front of everybody. Going where? LOL. How's it going, babe? How you been? How's your life been? You want to go on a date later? Huh? I think you looked really pretty today when you came down, you know, doing the laundry. Or, you know, actually, she wasn't doing laundry. Can I see you later, please? I don't know. I'll be working hard, and I'll talk to call my assistant and schedule. Will you schedule with my assistant, and she can maybe pencil you in. I got a lot of people that want to see me and do one-on-ones, so, like, I'm sorry, babe. You know, do you want to pay? You could pay for my time, but, like, you know. Just schedule with the assistant. She'll fit you in. She'll fit you in. Wait, are you the assistant too? It doesn't make sense. Speak to my manager, yeah. I don't answer the phone. I don't answer emails. Should I teach class twice a month? Let me know. Should I teach class twice a month? Let me know. Join the class. Everybody sign up to the trading group today if you want that knowledge and the skill and setups and coins and awesome things that we're looking at. Also, an overall market data. We're looking at the total market cap, DXY, giving you a picture of where we're going on the bigger time frames. Things could change tonight that we can't give you on the live stream. Things change all the time. Bring the dong in with Wifer and the bird with the children riding the pup. You're funny. Super chats, Casper Bob and BLZ. Let's take a look at the super chats. Thank you for bringing those up. Casper got a nice pump out of nowhere. Sammy didn't get back in. Is Sammy scared? Let's talk about it. Sammy didn't get back into Casper yet, and it had a huge pump off of support. Why didn't Sammy buy in? Is Sammy playing games with his Casper bag? The daily's getting a little overbought, headed up there. Will it have a massive move to the upside? You still have a pretty good resistance here that you hit at 41.88. Okay. You still technically have a falling wedge, but in my mind, you did break out of the falling wedge. Tried to see if I saw something similar here, though, and you could say, fine. You could say here you fell out of the falling wedge too, right? But it was lackluster for a further continuation down. And so does that mean that maybe we make a bigger wedge here, right? Something like that, and we just come back down. Moving averages are still far apart. Usually the daily will want to touch the daily. It's likely you'll come and touch this daily. The 2-day chart, to me, is just getting rejected by the 21. Really needs to kind of consolidate on the moving averages before a better pump. And the 3-day also just too far away. Like, to me, it has to consolidate. So I pulled the fib here, and I'm just waiting on the 618. I'm just waiting on the 618, and I'm waiting on the trend, right, to establish. So I could FOMO in right now and buy way too much. The 3-day chart does say we're about to get a huge pump, though, and it has a cup and handle vibe. Am I going to miss out on the biggest pump of my life? Or is it going to double top here? The 3-day chart, I mean, looks aggressive. It was here before, and the same thing was looking at. We were like, I could go back here, and I would have been like, am I going to miss out? Right, I would have looked, oh my God, the 3 days about to break out huge in a flag. Or do I trust my fibs, man? And this is where you really have to find out who you are as a trader. All right. First thing I'm going to do is trust that the 4-hour will break to the downside out of this rising wedge back to the top of the channel. That's my first thing, and then I'll go from there, and that'll take 8 hours to 12 hours, and we'll reset in the stochastics, and we'll reconvene. 1 hour actually is looking bullish, like, look at that. But it could make the right shoulder. There's some bearish div forming. If the 1 hour breaks this resistance at 41.90, then there's a chance, you know. I could buy back. I could begin to buy back now, but I just feel, or not feel, but the market tells me I could get better price. Yeah, Cass has been following the practical. Life is experiencing Cass deja vu. Well, I got to get back in. Like, it might put in a head and shoulders to the downside. I'm just going to trust my stochastics. I'm going to trust my Fibonacci to the 618 here. All right. And this is like a reality TV show. Will the lifer ever get back in? I mean, worst comes to worst, I walk away with a gain and I put that money down on another smaller coin. So there's no, like, you know what I mean? Worst comes to worst, I walk away with a gain. Let's take a look at BLZ. Buddy, we've been trading this coin on and off for the last few days, over and over again. So it had pumped nicely, and there was a chance that it could pump again. The 1 hour got low yesterday, and it got up, but hit resistance, came down. 1 hour got low again, we just couldn't get the love. That's what I learned on LPT. Interesting. I mean, Bitcoin could be dropping, right? Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. Yep, 25,770. Bitcoin's staying pretty flat right now. Just consolidating on that 7-minute flag. It's going to take a few hours, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there. I see it still consolidating. I'll just negate that it ever left and came back in. You know, it's just still inside this beautiful consolidation. The 4 hour was the time frame that I really wanted to see, and it's hugging a higher low on the 4 hour time frame. I questioned whether this was, a sustainable rally by looking at the daily, and the daily actually, reinstated that there could be a continuation. You're getting kind of a double. You got bearish div here, though. So, look, you got a bearish div on the daily now. It tells me to abandon it. You're curving. Yeah, 22 hours curving with bearish divergence. Yeah, it's too far away from the 21. You may get a little bit of a pump, so watch the smaller time frames for one last little shot out. Like, see if the 1 hour can give you a pump or something. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get a move back to the downside. 22 hours short for BLZ after that massive move up. Technically kind of in like a bit of a rising wedge now, right? That could break to the downside. I see bearishness for this. Smaller time frames will have to fix themselves, but I mean, you got bearish divergence and you're pointing down on stochastic, and you got moving averages far apart. I mean, you're likely going to drop. BOB. I think didn't I buy this coin back in the day on MEXC? I believe I did. Bob's at the lowest it's ever been, hugging a higher low in a bit of a cup and handle, right? And I see what you're saying. Is it going to pump up to the 200 SMA? My little trick there. It could. So I think that's why someone's putting it out. This is a little trading trick we have. If price action gets really jumbled inside of the moving averages tight, and there's an outlier of the 200 SMA, usually you can get a pump up to it. It won't be there because this will come down as these they'll kind of come together. But there's a chance that Bob, it's very low risk coin, a very high risk coin, very low. It's like a meme coin. But Adam and Eve double bottom there, see that? Your triangle with your semicircle to the upside, and now you're retesting. A lot of times when you get the flag after the Adam and Eve, you do get the bump to the upside because you're retesting the Adam and Eve neckline. This does look like you could get about 80% gains out of it. Mind rare sirloin, she crab soup would be wonderful. Thank you. She crab soup. What is she crab soup? I'll have some eggs Benedict. Thank you. You're the best. And a mimosa. Baby, are you going to brunch? You want me to bring you anything? I'd like to take you out, babe. We haven't been out in a long time. Lemonade, mimosa, and an oatmeal with the works. Dude, that sounds great. Just not with the alcohol. Yeah, they are. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here, and I thank you all. I'm going to pray that all those things work out in the crypto space for the better of all of crypto, man, and for all of crypto YouTube. And from me and my team, shout out to Jamie, shout out to Lakochi Coker, shout out to Sean, shout out to Jay, the editor, and everyone else. Shout out to FUD Expert and everyone else on the live. God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Let's go over Bitcoin one more time just to see what I see happening for BTC. But I believe I'm just going to say we're going to be watching a 7-minute flag consolidate. And so here we go. And it looks like it's making somewhat of a symmetrical triangle. We'll break this down. Moving averages, get rid of those. Don't need so much support and resistance. I mean, on the macro, I see bullishness for Bitcoin. I see a hidden bullish divergence. I bought $2,000 worth of it yesterday. You saw me, and I'm going to be buying more. Anytime Bitcoin has that $25,000 label on it, to me, it's a great price. A great price. So we're going to watch this consolidation here for Bitcoin. Likely up a little more, down a little more, and get tight. And what we want is this 21 to come up into price. And then the 7-minute looks like it could be setting up for another possible scalp to the upside here. So I'm watching the 7-minute for another possible scalp for Bitcoin. Measurement would take us back to 26,000. No crazy bearish div. That's down. That's almost no. And the 1 hour still has gas to the upside, meaning, and we could pump up to that 200 SMA. Boom. So we have some bullishness there. 50 minutes overbought, needs to reset too. So we need a reset on the 15-minute, and then we want to watch this consolidation on the 7. Could very well double top here and dump back to the bottom of the pattern. When the 15-minute resets, that would be maybe it's a falling wedge, and we'll trade the 50, So watch the 7-minute for confirmation of either a double top or better consolidation for a more bullish move to the upside on a scalp. And that's my update for Bitcoin. Up until I'll come back in the next few hours and post a chart and talk about it in the trading group. It's chop volume on a Thursday as we head back into the school week. First week of school for a lot of people. For my kid, it was she had a half a day on Tuesday, Monday off, half a day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Today is the weekly screen share, everyone. Last weekly screen share, all 4 things we put out did pretty well. What will we find tonight on the weekly screen share? You never know. So stay tuned for that. We're going to break a lot of things down. We're going to go over Token Metrics account as well, like I do, and have a blast every single week. So I can't wait to see you tonight, Thursday night. Remember that. I'll start at probably, I like to start at like around 7 and end at about 8:39. So 7 to 9 o'clock will be the weekly screen share tonight, Thursday night. So, and we do that every week, everyone, just so you know. Every week I meet with my entire trading group and we hang out together for a nice hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes 3. I've broken down life stories, subconscious mind theory, and trading. So we do a bunch of different stuff. We don't just stick on just trading. It's a more intimate meeting. And if you want to jump on in, we also record it and put it back out later on that night, so you have access to it as well. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to sign up for class, Master Friend, every single Sunday. Jump on in today. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to be a part of the movement. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll catch you tomorrow on another beautiful live stream. Show number 990, baby, as we head to show number 1000. Absolutely insanity. Let's finish up the lemon water while we're together. It's always good to do that. Stay hydrated. The blue matches the suit, Stay hydrated, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And gratitude is the attitude every single day. Keep gratitude and everything works out. You may be confused. You may be lost. Sometimes not everything makes sense. Take a deep breath and say, God, thank you for everything. And the gratitude will somehow change the frequency. You'll see things a little differently. And next thing you know, you'll go to bed in a state of gratitude. So, everyone, thank you so much for everything. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Oh, wait. Crypto's life, baby.